I'm Raye Lynn Mercer, and this is Talk Talk Boom, coming to you from Franklin, Massachusetts, home of the Franklin Performing Arts Company at the Black Box. On Talk Talk Boom, we'll share with you candid and entertaining conversations about all things related to the performing arts.
Tell me, how long have you two been together?
Almost 6.5 years.
7.5 years?
Hey,
Raye Lynn Mercer.
Clay Rice Thomson. Welcome back to the Black Box. And you are in Franklin, Massachusetts, instead of on Broadway, so it must be a Monday.
It sure is a Monday.
It is a Monday today.
Did a show yesterday, got on the train this morning, came to my favorite place.
I love to hear that. You are currently in Moulin Rouge.
I know.
And I think I'd consider you, I see a lot of shows, and I think you are probably among the top few ensemble performers on Broadway.
Thank you.
And I just am amazed at the level of performance that you put out at every show I've ever seen. And I know that it's consistent 8 shows a week. I know that about you.
Yeah. I definitely, both of my parents have very hard work ethic. Both of my parents have an amazing work ethic, and I have always just been the same. I would go to dance as soon as I got out of school. I was in dance class. It's all I wanted to do in high school, and then on the weekends I would take voice lessons and have acting classes. So it's kind of just in my blood to be working 24/7, and I love it.
And you do love it. We were just so lucky and had such a good time with you in Mary Poppins, where you played Bert.
I did.
Did a fabulous job in that role.
Thank you.
But I think we talked about it a couple of times, and you speak about your comfort level as one of the best ensemble players on Broadway.
Oh.
But is that really true?
I would so much prefer to be in the ensemble. The spotlight's on me now. I'm like, ooh, I'm sweating, I'm nervous. I love being in the ensemble and getting to tell the story from the ensemble's perspective. For example, Elphaba gets to be Elphaba from the first scene to the end of the show. Mm-hmm. In Wicked, I got to be a monkey, and then a mob person, and then a Shiz University student, and then a person at the Ozdesk Ballroom. I think it's so fun to be in the ensemble and get to create all those different characters for yourself. Because there's nothing in the script that says in Moulin Rouge I play the bartender in one scene. There's nothing that gives me a name or a backstory, but you better believe my bartender has a name. I'm Chester.
Next, I would say, we are always lucky to include you as one of our teachers of our students, our apprentice performers at the Black Box with Franklin Performing Arts Company, and our students at FSPA. And I think what we just talked about is such an important thing for them to hear. I'm thinking that we should spend more time you're teaching a class tonight.
Yes.
And perhaps just having a few minutes on the idea of what opportunities you're afforded as an ensemble member and how it can be such a fantastic place to be.
Right.
I think for young people, sometimes it's easy for them to feel like they want to be downstage center.
Sure.
And that's the place they want to be. But for some of them, their skill set lends themselves, to a different direction.
Absolutely.
And you find the joy in that.
Absolutely. And to go even further than that, there's only one Elphaba, or there's only one Satine. There are so many more opportunities to be in the ensemble of a show. So longevity-wise, to be more well-rounded and to have all of those skills to be in the ensemble, you can have a longer career.
And how many shows have you been in on Broadway?
I've done 4 shows on Broadway and 4 national tours.
Right. And so that is spectacular as well.
It is. I'm very, very lucky.
You've you've created those opportunities for yourself by working really hard. Back to the work ethic instilled by mom and dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Mom and dad and the teachers that I had always were like, you don't wait till the performance to give 110%, because if you rehearse at 50%, then you're not going to be used to doing the 110% that you need when you're on stage. And if you give 110% when you're on stage and you haven't been used to that, you're not going to have the longevity of the show, whether it runs for 1 weekend or 2 weekends, or we do 8 shows a week. So if you're not rehearsing at the level that you're going to perform at, that stamina is not going to
It's not going to be there.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so what is a dream track for you? And I can't help but feel like you, in every show you've been in, you felt like you were playing that dream track. If you don't feel that way, you make it seem so as a performer.
Thank you. I have been very lucky that actually 2 times that I've done shows on Broadway, it's happened twice, where 2 people were leaving at the same time. And when I joined, they kind of rearranged the tracks for the both of us coming in. That happened with Newsies and now with Moulin Rouge. So with both of them, I've kind of gotten like you said, like a dream track of, I do all of the hard dance stuff that one person did, and I do the like lifting and partnering stuff that another person did, and I get to do them both. So it's a dream track for sure. But dream, like show-wise, I want to do Hairspray so bad. I want to be a Nicest Kid in Town.
Okay.
It can be any of them. I also want to do Hamilton. I want to do Hamilton with Chris. I'm bummed that I never got to, but who's to say never?
Never say never.
Never say never.
Right?
Also, I know that I am and said that I'm more comfortable in the ensemble. Bert was definitely like up there, like dream role wise, because it's like a song and dance guy. So I don't have to just like stand and sing and feel like I have to be like anything that I don't feel comfortable in. But I got to like tap dance and dance with Kaylee Weir. Like it was like so fun.
Great
oh,
in that
thank
show.
you. Tell me more. What specifically?
Yes,
no.
yes, absolutely. The chimney top.
It was a lot of fun. And to get to choreograph it too was like a dream, to be like, okay, what do I want to do? And what do I think is going to look best around me? And not only seeing it from like an audience perspective, but we did it with audience on both sides. And I was getting to like see my choreography from the middle. So it was kind of cool to like think through all of that of like, okay, what is that side of the audience going to see? What is that side going to see? What am I going to see?
Right.
So that was cool.
Yeah, how does that transition feel from performer to choreographer? I hadn't thought about the fact that you, in the way that the orientation of the black box for Mary Poppins, you really did have a chance to see your work while you were in the show. So that's crazy.
It was, I mean, it's so cool. That was actually, like I've choreographed full shows very few times, 2 of those times being here.
Yay for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky us.
So I actually made my choreography debut doing Matilda here, and which was so cool to be a part of. And actually one of the actors that was in that, an alumni of FSPA and FPAC, Susanna, just saw the show on the West End for the first time ever. She had never seen it. She saw,
Honey.
Yes, she was Miss Honey, and she sent me the sweetest video, just complimenting the show and complimenting our time together in the show, and to not only like was it special then, that it's still special to one of the people in the show 5 years later. It was like a pinch me moment that it was cool to kind of like relive those memories.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you, you talk about the 8 shows a week, and I've seen Moulin Rouge. For anybody who has seen Moulin Rouge, you can appreciate physically what it takes to make that show happen. But what is your fitness? How do you do it?
I mean, it is a lot. It's a hard show. It's it's 2.5 hours, 2:40. And to do it 8 times a week with 1 day off, that's not enough time for your body to recover. It is a very hard show. But I go to the gym every day, and I do stuff at the gym that I know that I don't utilize in the show as much.
Okay.
So I do more like strength training at the gym versus cardio, where kind of like flipping that in reverse when I was doing King Kong, I was one of the puppeteers for the big puppet, and so a lot of it was pulling these pulleys to make the monkey move. And since I was on the right side of the monkey's body, it was a lot of just pulling to the right. So I was having to like kind
Work
of
your
like
left.
counter, yes, at the gym only, and it would feel weird to like leave the gym and be like, I'm strong on my left, knowing that like when I go to the show, I'm gonna be doing that same kind of movement on the right. So yeah, I go to the gym every day.
But a lot of thoughtful
Absolutely, yeah.
self-care and a lot of thoughtful work.
Staying hydrated and knowing like what your body can handle outside of the show, because the show is your job. So if you can't perform at the best of your ability every day, and you're doing things outside of the show that don't make that better or inform the decisions you need to make during the show, you're not setting yourself up for success in the show. And that's
You've had a
what
lot
you're
of
there
physically
for.
demanding shows. Newsies, you mentioned a little while ago.
Well, I have known Raye Lynn for years and years and years, and I look up to her still and thought she was an amazing woman from afar back then. And then she asked me to come to her theater in Massachusetts and choreograph Newsies. And I said, absolutely yes. And so I'm in the car with Raye Lynn on the way to teach and do like a little mock audition, or was it?
We did a
like
master class just
pre-class?
to get
Yes.
excitement going for
For the show, yes.
the show.
And so we're in the car and we were talking about the show. And I was like, have you found a Jack Kelly yet? And she was like, no, I haven't found one yet. And I was like, my fiance actually loves the show and like would be an amazing Jack Kelly. And we just kept driving, and in hindsight,
I almost drove off the road at that point because we were new to equity contracts, and the only equity contracts we had done at that point were alums.
Right.
So we hadn't ventured down that.
And I was like, maybe you should start because Chris wants to do it. And so I brought him on board, and then like 2 weeks before, or a week.
Oh, it was a few days before we were supposed to begin rehearsals.
I got King Kong. So I got the call, and immediately, at first I was like, yes, let's do it, King Kong. And then I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to choreograph Newsies. What am I gonna do? So I call Raye Lynn, and I was like, I have friends that have choreographed it before, and I know that you'll be in good hands with any of these people that I give you. Which just goes to show you, like, the people you know in the industry, they can get you jobs or they cannot get you jobs.
Good lesson in that,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. So Chaz, that's how I was like, okay, my friend Chaz has choreographed the show before. He can do it. And I think he came here for like 2 days or 3 days and set everything.
It was a total of 4.
Just a 4.
Yes. It was
this
a total of 4. But when I called him, he said, I didn't tell Clay I was totally free to do it.
Yes, he did. He was like, yeah, I can do that. I didn't give him like what days, but he said he was free.
So,
Chaz, if you're listening.
We
yes,
said
you
we
did.
were up to the task, and we did have the entirety of Newsies set on our cast in 4
Amazingly.
days, which it turned out to be a great experience. And then we got to know Chris through that, and I don't know. I guess the rest is history
rest
as
is
far
history.
as our involvement is concerned. All right, Clay, are you ready for the lightning round?
No, I hate making fast decisions. I like to think on things, but
Okay.
yes,
all
I'm
right.
ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
These are all things you know.
Well, let's hope so.
Well, come on. Where did you grow up?
Oh, Rochester, New York.
Okay, there we go. Do you have siblings?
I have one sister.
And is she a performer?
She is not.
She is not a performer.
Well, she did dance when she was little, and I remember seeing a video of her in a dance recital where they did like a ballet and tap in one dance.
Wow.
And they started with the tap, and then mid-dance changed. They went backstage like little groups at a time, and they changed into their tutus, and she got the wrong tutu, and so one video I remember of seeing
Is
her
she going
dancing.
to be happy with this story?
Sorry, Bailey. She's just like running around the stage, picking up the tutu off the floor, running around, starting the step, and then picking up the tutu. It's like my favorite thing. But to answer your question, she's not a performer. That's probably why.
And your parents?
My parents are not performers. My dad is a phys ed teacher, and my mom was a travel agent, and now she's a real estate agent.
Well, that's where you get your wanderlust and your travel
Absolutely.
love.
That and the work ethic. He was a football player, basketball coach. He does it all. So I was always like, I want to do that.
Yeah. Well, your dad's profession prompts the next question. Which is your favorite sports ball? Come on.
How can I pick? They're all so great.
They're all great.
I do love a Yankees game. I know that's when we're kind of near Boston. But
Yeah, well,
I
that's
mean,
okay. That's all right. So
a baseball game.
baseball wins.
Sure.
All right. Fabulous. Your favorite food?
Okay, I'm trying to be better about my eating, but I think my favorite food is my mom's mac and cheese.
Excellent. I could have guessed, probably. What breed of dog is your favorite?
I love big dogs. So I grew up with 2 Mastiffs, which were 160 pounds each. So I love a big dog. Anything that I can like push over and it'll like fight back, I like that. I don't want to like
wrestling
be nervous I'm going to step on your dog and kaput. So I'm going to say a Mastiff.
Excellent.
But no, that's so hard because I like golden retrievers and bulldogs. I don't know. All big
I know one
dogs.
little golden retriever that will be so sad you didn't say
Am
her.
I going to see her?
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see, Clay.
Here she is now, Bernadette Peters.
Your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Excellent. Yeah.
I was going to say Halloween because that's my birthday, but then that sounds self-centered. If I say that my favorite holiday is my birthday, you know? I like
Yeah.
Halloween, but no, Christmas.
Christmas. It is.
See, I'm bad at these lightning rounds.
No, it's okay. We have to ask your favorite Broadway show. Not necessarily one that you've been in, but
I always go back to Come From Away. The storytelling in that it was like 14 people that played 100 different characters
Yeah.
that you cared about every single one of their individual characters. I thought that was incredible storytelling. And I'm usually drawn to like a big dance numbers and
Right,
spectacle show.
right.
So for that to be so pared down, I was
powerful.
like obsessed with the storytelling of
yes,
it.
we ended up in New York City with a student group when it was the first preview in New York City for Come From Away, and it was just an amazing experience. You have some of those experiences where the audience is as much a part of it as what happens on the stage.
Absolutely.
And there were people from Gander in the audience with flags. There were people who had followed the show through all the trial cities.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really something else.
How special.
Anyway, yeah, that's my story about Come From Away. Favorite season?
Fall. And like honestly, like just the leaves changing. I like hot weather, but the leaves changing and getting to like go like ziplining and pumpkin picking and getting on the train to come here and seeing the leaves already changing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little too soon for that, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think
Favorite article of clothing?
like a one article? Oh gosh. I'll say my Newsy boots. That's a pretty cool thing that I
Yeah,
have.
that is
I
a
got
really
to keep.
cool
They're
thing.
like, I have 3 different pairs. I have tap shoes and then 2 like regular boots, and those are pretty cool. Pretty special.
Awesome. And what is your superpower?
Ooh.
Not imagined, but
Not
what
imagined.
is
What do I
Clay
have?
Rice Thompson's superpower?
Well, the first thing that came to mind was like surrounding myself with good people. That's my superpower. I like to think that I like surround myself with positive, good people, and anybody that is not that, they don't need my time.
That's a fantastic power to have.
a superpower, right?
It is a
Sure.
It's absolutely a superpower.
I'm also invisible.
Well,
Other than that.
I wasn't expecting you to reveal that.
Speed too.
I think we all like to know sometimes the funniest thing that has happened to you on stage, or I don't know, whether it's the funniest or most powerful or
Okay, well, I have a short one and then a little bit longer one.
Okay.
My short one that was like a funny moment was during Newsies, I didn't get a put in. So you typically when you're replacing in a show, you get one rehearsal to do the full show in costume and everything before you do it in front of an audience. Hurricane Sandy hit and I didn't get a put in. So the first time I did the show was my opening night, and we got to Seize the Day, big dance number. I do a big toe touch and my pants rip fully down the middle.
Ooh.
And then I had to finish the dance number and the rest of the act with that. So that's a funny one.
That's fun.
And then one that one of my favorite mishaps that happened, we were doing West Side Story. It was Chris and I on stage, my husband. You may have heard of him from our previous story when he was my fiance. So we
Fast forward.
Right? Here we are. So we were in a scene together, and it was just the two of us on stage. The Dream Ballet had just happened. We're about to sing Officer Krupke. We're like scared. The leader of our gang just died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And we're like on stage together. We're the youngest ones. Officer Krupke's supposed to come on, and we're supposed to sing the song Officer Krupke. He did not come on. He missed his entrance. And so we had to improv this full scene of why we were about to sing the song Officer Krupke when no Officer Krupke was there. So that was like, it felt like 45 minutes of...
And this is why we should go to improv class.
Correct. Because my brilliant husband reached into the wings and grabbed the bar, what is it called? Not a cudgel, but a thing that a police has, baton.
Yeah.
A baton and a hat, just from midair. And then we did the scene. Broadway's Christopher Rice Thomson, acting 101.
Did Officer Krupke ever arrive?
Nope, sure
No.
didn't. Just in our dreams, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of my most memorable. And Alan Menken was in the audience.
Oh, no.
Which is always
No.
great.
Terrific.
Yeah.
All right, so producer John Fitzhenry and I have decided that each of our interviews will have a this or that.
Okay.
The lightning round.
That didn't go well either, so here we go.
We give you a little time
Yeah,
on that,
okay,
but
this one
this
I
is
have.
this or that, and your this or that is the Disney edition.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No, yes.
Okay, here we go. Cinderella or Snow White?
Cinderella.
Thunder or space?
Space.
Tower or Rockin'?
Tower.
Goofy or Pluto?
Goofy.
Dole Whip or Turkey Leg?
Dole Whip. 100%.
Don't be annoyed.
Easy.
Star Wars or Avatar?
The rides or the movies?
Oh, the rides. We are at Disney.
Either one.
no.
Star Wars.
Okay. Kingdoms, magic or animal?
Magic.
First stop, Canada or Mexico?
Mexico, all the way. Margaritas and churros.
Starbucks or Joffrey's?
Oh, I'm not a coffee drinker, so neither. Is
Okay,
that possible?
that's
I'll
fair.
do Starbucks for a cookie. I don't know. Does Joffrey have cookies?
I have no
Probably.
idea. Guardians or Tron?
Oh, Guardians.
And Mickey or Minnie?
I'll go with Mickey, because I just met the voice of Mickey Mouse.
Tell me everything.
He's-
right now.
We met him, we just went on a cruise with all of these amazing people. The voice of Goofy, who's voiced Goofy for 50 years. We met him, and we met Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and the voice of Ariel and Miguel and Meg. It was so
Amazing.
cool. But we met Brett, and he is a gay man and voices Mickey Mouse. And we thought that we were like, how cool, like one of our favorite characters and like America's favorite or the world's favorite character is voiced by a gay man. We were like, how cool, what a cool little like representation. Even though people don't know it, it's like
But a discovery
Mickey
nonetheless.
Mouse is voiced by a gay guy.
Yeah.
We thought that was really cool, really special. So
Awesome. Mickey it is.
Yeah.
So what is it about Franklin, and how are we so lucky to have you here so much and a part of our family and community? And we met because I saw you as a very young teacher, make such an incredible impression on the students. They would talk of no one else. At Broadway Artists Alliance, where we took classes frequently, and so it was from meeting you there that I was prompted to call and ask about choreographing for us. But why are you here all the time?
I think when I started out teaching, I thought it was so cool that when I was teaching, the kids were around my age or very close to my age. So I felt like it was a cool way for kids to see like, oh, I can do that. That's not very many years away from where I am now. And so I just fell in love with teaching. And I mean, the community here is incredible. And I love getting to just see the shows here and meet the people here, meet new people. It's all about the community at FSBA and in Franklin, because everybody's so nice. And I love when you teach a class, it's more about like the kids that want to be there and the passion that you have versus anything else. I think that's the most important thing is like when you show up and you like put your whole heart into it. And I think that FSBA has that.
Well,
You especially. This is why I'm here.
thank you.
Folks, Raye Lynn Mercer, are you kidding me? The icon that is, she lives on a street that has her name in it. Come on, how can you not love her?
Well, thank you. This has been a whole lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we
Thanks
look
for having
forward to whatever's next, and there will be lots of Clay Rice Thomson in Franklin, Massachusetts, with the Franklin
hope
Performing
so.
Arts Company, and lots of things upcoming at the Black Box.
Tarzan, come see Tarzan.
Come see Tarzan.
Yeah.